Hey, this is your girl, msyelladiva. I am bringing you another episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 3, High Notes and Cheap Shots, honey. All right, if you are new here, welcome. Come on in, welcome. Come on in. Okay? All right. And if you are returning, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. What? Yes, Lord. All right. Let me get my mic together. Okay. Give me a thumbs up, like, share, comment, subscribe to my channel, and we will begin. All right. Now, Mike, Britt's husband, is giving a dinner for his family. Okay. All right. So, a lot of people, I'm already laughing. A lot of people saying that Mike is giving off some gay vibes, okay? Okay. It's seeming like a lavender marriage, or all that other stuff. So, I didn't think about it. I was just like, he don't give me gay vibes and everything like that. But this picture I took, I could see it now. Okay, this picture I took, okay? Okay. I'm just saying. In this picture. Anyway, so, Britt is talking about that when they ask her, she dated all these rappers and all these people, and so she said she dated Rick Ross. Everybody dated Rick Ross. Who cares? Then she was saying, because she was a video vixen in high school, and I'm still giving your mama a side eye on that. Okay, because you was in high school. You shouldn't have been no video vixen in high school. Your mama worried about you getting pregnant this year. She should have worried about you having you being a video vixen in high school. She should have wondered what you was doing in high school. I'm still giving your mama the side eye on that. I ain't feeling that. I'm not feeling that. And that's really not a flex, boo boo. It's not a flex, okay? Okay. Anyway, so we gonna move on. So they got a chef and they got an assistant. What is the assistant for? I can understand why the chef is there because apparently Britt can't cook. Okay, but what is the assistant for? Britt or Mike can't cook because Charles Charles is a culinary genius over there in Angela house. Okay, Charles and Angela house. So Mike and Britt can't cook. But what is the assistant for? To tell people where to sit? It ain't but about 5 to 10, 6 of y'all, maybe 7. Well, what's the assistant for? Okay. Anyway, golly, they could fix their own plate. What is the assistant for? Okay, I'm stop. Okay, so one of the kids was like, "Oh, lobster tail, we fancy." I know he like, yeah, the chef can't make a burger or something. Anyway, Sister Natasha, they all got some beautiful locks. Let me tell you what, the mama, daddy, and the kids had beautiful locks. But anyway, Sister Natasha asked, "Did she meet?" She said the group of friends, but we know the cast, and she said that Kenya was giving her a little pushback. Whatever. I think you got a hard on for Kenya. Anyway, so then they ask about, she asked about, what else is going on, and Mike said he wanted a kid yesterday. Um, and so, but I was just like, but when you saying that, and when she said I'm getting pregnant this year, you saying allegedly, wasn't that you? but you want a kid yesterday. And then Britt was like, I want a ceremony yesterday too. And you ain't say nothing about no ceremony when you and your mama and him was in the kitchen talking the last episode. You said your mama need to sell her house and move in here so she can help with the baby because she getting pregnant this year. You ain't say nothing about no ceremony. He said allegedly. You ain't say nothing about no damn ceremony. Where did this ceremony come in now? Okay, you wasn't gunning for that last episode. Okay, but you gunning for it now. For what? For what? Y'all trying to fix up this house to move into another house? Your quote unquote dream house? Girl, get the fuck out of here. Okay, moving on. So the ladies go downstairs and so they can talk. And so Britt said her dad died in 2015 and he had a $2 million life insurance policy when he died, but the mama couldn't cash it because he was between jobs. So this is what it was. It's only two circumstances that would happen if that $2 million policy was in the old job. Okay, and once he got terminated, quit, or laid off or whatever, so that policy's null and void. Or because he was in between jobs, he stopped paying on that $2 million policy, and so she couldn't cash it. One of the two. That's the only option. Okay, whatever the case may be, it's sad. It's sad that she couldn't get her $2 million. But he should have. Unless they got laid off. He shouldn't have got fired, or he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have quit. Now, unless he got laid off, that's But so we don't know because he's gone. Rest in peace. But anyway, so that's why she launched her insurance company with her sisters, then sold it. Well, you sold it because you had bad reviews, honey. I live in Atlanta. I know. You had some fucking bad reviews, okay? It was some kind of mortgage company. Well, no, it was some kind of insurance company that tells you how to build insurance companies. It was something stupid that you had bad reviews on it because it obviously didn't work for people. So yeah, yeah. So that's the reason why you sold it. I don't think you sold it. I think it went under, but you could say you sold it, but I do believe it went under. Okay, so yeah, because I heard y'all was shamming people. Y'all was shamming people. Okay, so you got some money for shamming people. Okay, so but it still went under. So Mike come down saying, "Hey, y'all gonna miss this strawberry shortcake, with the lemon twist." That's a little suspect too, but I'm gonna leave that alone. Anyway, Kelli and Portia meet up. Portia said, you got split personalities, and I don't know what personality is gonna come. And so Kelli was like, I got multiple personalities. And so in the confessional, Portia was like, yeah, all her personalities start with L. Loud, loud, loud. Girl, you ain't the one to talk, Missy. Okay? Your spinoff show wasn't yet you throwing plates across the room, yelling, about to beat up Dennis' mama, yelling at folks, and then they had to hold you down. Okay. Wasn't it the one that you was loud in the bolo gate saying that somebody was gonna eat your coochie? Uh-huh. You don't remember that? You don't remember that? You don't remember none of that? Okay. You are not the one to talk, sister. Okay, you are not the one to talk. And so, and Kelly in the confessional saying, "Yeah, I have different personalities, and you got different men, so we even." I know that's right, Kelly. You got different men, so we even. Okay. So then Portia is saying that she met up with Shamea, her quote unquote best friend. And she said the amount of things that I heard that you and Britt was saying about me. And Kelly looking confused. And I'm looking confused too, because I was just like, when did Shamea say all of this? She ain't say all of that. I was just like, Portia, you putting 20 on 10. Just like you did when you was talking to Dennis about Drew. And talking about how he that he's saying that's a business partnership or business relationship, and she was just like, that ain't what Drew said. That is exactly what Drew said. What? Where did this come from? Oh, cause she said he was an angel here on earth, but you saying he was Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That ain't the same thing, bro. That ain't the same thing. And you putting 20 on 10, just like you doing this to Shamea's words. You need to go on. You need to go on with that. You need to go on with that. Um, and so Kelly said, well, Shamea told me to ask you, face to face, that way she's not the middleman. And so Portia was like, my best friend ask you to ask me at her birthday party. And so Portia thinking that Shamea trying to set her up. Girl, Portia, go on with that. Go somewhere with that. Ooh. Ooh.
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness?
Yes. Ugh. Anyway, so they laughed, and Portia was like, we got a bipolar relationship. And so Kelly was like, now I can't drink because, I didn't know if I was going to have to nuck if I booked, everything like that. And then Portia was like, I called you a troll, but you my treasure troll. And so she was like, if I'm going to be a troll, at least I want to be the cute pink one, Poppy. No. Pisces Kelly, no, that ain't cool either. We're not doing that. So Drew meet up with Cynthia, Kenya, and Angela in the studio. Cynthia, what's going on with this wig? What happened to your fine wigs, okay? What happened to them? Did Mike take these wigs in the divorce? Did Mike take the wigs in the divorce? Where in the fuck is your good wigs? Oh my God. Oh my God. It looked like a mullet. It was just a horrible, what the fuck? Cynthia, you a Pisces too? Girl. No. 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 Okay. Hell no. Okay. Hell no. Anyway, Angela said that it was her first marriage, and it was her first marriage, her and Charles's first marriage. And so, and they got married like when in their 50s or late 50s or what. Well, he was in his 50s, she was probably in her late 40s. um so Kenya asked Dennis, asked Drew where Dennis was. And so Drew was trying to change the subject, like, y'all want something to drink and everything like that. And Kenya was like, sister. We gonna answer this question. So she was just like, well, he's supposed to be here. And so uh Drew was like, because I just text him. I don't even talk to him on the phone. And then they showed this beautiful bean footage. Where she talking to him on the phone. Yeah. Come on. Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Drew, why the fuck you lying? That wasn't even the reason. That wasn't even something that you should lie. It ain't that big for you to be lying. Kenya was like, you playing the victim and you looking like a whore. It was like a whore. Oh. And she said, you working with him and you don't speak, and you didn't speak to her. It ain't cool. And so Cynthia said, yeah, when Kenya had Leon acting in her show, she called me up and she got my permission to film with my baby daddy, because baby, as Cynthia said, baby daddies hit different. I got you on that. So Shamea meets up with her sisters, and she said last year was all about Shiloh and all about the premature birth. This year she had an ectopic pregnancy, and Shia needs her tonsils and adenoids removed. And so, that's not a major surgery. That's an outpatient surgery, boo. Okay. Ask the pediatric nurse. Post-op surgery pediatric nurse. That's just a outpatient surgery. You don't get inpatient until you've got some kind of breathing difficulties that you need to be observed overnight. Pediatric nurse. That me. Okay. And I know Dr. Harmon too. Anyway. So she looking into a surrogate because, she said she had so many rounds of IVF. Her estrogen was so high, she was at risk for stroke and blood clots. So she can't be doing that. And she, I told you, just you need just to get a surrogate, and you need to put 2 little boys in there and call it a day. Get you some twins out of here and call it a damn day. Girl, stop. Y'all need to have no more kids. Y'all should have 2 boys and 2 girls. That's it. And so, the sister was like, Shiloh is thriving. She don't even know she have any kind of issues. Okay, she is thriving. She is a happy baby, and that baby is here for a purpose. I agree with you, sister girl. Okay, that baby is here for a purpose because she is cute as she want to be. Okay. Anyway, Angela is at her and Charles' property. Charles rolled in about 20 minutes later. What I need to know is, are you a self-made millionaire with Charles's money? Or were you a self-made millionaire when you married Charles? Okay. Because, she over here trying to impress him, because she just need, so she can invest in some more properties. Well, are you a self-made millionaire or not? Are you a self-made millionaire with his money? It's fine. I ain't got no problem with it. I just need to know. Okay, I just need to know. All right. So, Angela wants a vow removal renewal. They said, and they go over why Charles is banned from Madison Square Garden. She said the owner don't like him. I think I knew as it was something else. I can't remember what it was, but it was something else why he was banned. Okay, and it wasn't just because the owner don't like him. Okay. So they separated. I guess they had just got married and they separated for about a year or something, and then they finally got back together. So they in counseling. They figured out. Drew went to her lawyer. They've been trying to divorce since February 2023. Man. Ralph is in the basement because he can't afford to pay for anywhere else to live, but nobody knows what he can't afford because he didn't give up his financial records. So nobody knows what he can afford and what he can't afford. But they're going to open the divorce notes or whatever, the divorce records. And so that's for everybody in the world to see about how your serial cheater, how he was tracking her, how he was stalking her, how he was sexting somebody. And remember, he was in Tampa all the time. And he had cameras in the house, and he was watching her on the cameras and stuff like that. No, 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 no. So Drew started crying because she was like, "My kids go see it. My kid, girl, shut the fuck up, okay? Give me these violins." Your kids probably already see it. Okay. Anyway. So Shia gets her no Shia gets her tonsils out by Dr. Harmon. Hey, Dr. Harmon, it's Nurse Tisha. Okay. Like I said, I'm on pediatric post-op surgery floor, honey. We got ortho kids, we got ENT kids. That's the tonsillectomies. We got plastic surgery kids. We got trauma kids. We got all kinds of kids, honey. We got all kinds of kids. So, and just general surgery, appendicitis always is a must in the pediatric world. Anyway, um, so Portia and Miss Diane go to the spa. Portia is talking about her divorce. She was talking about the first divorce. She felt like she was going through it with somebody. Now she doesn't feel like she's going through it with anybody but her. Excuse me, Portia, we were here when you went through your first divorce. Remember, you found out about it on Twitter? Remember that? Remember that? I remember that. You remember that? I remember that. So he didn't tell you he was divorcing you, okay? Then he packed your shit up and sent it to your mama house. I remember that. You don't remember that? I remember that. Okay? And you ain't getting nothing because his prenup was so airtight, you couldn't even get nothing. Okay? You don't remember that? I remember that. You remember that? You remember that? And you didn't go to the strip club when you was with him, but now you in the strip club all day long and twice on Sunday. Now, you remember that? I remember that. You remember that? Okay. I remember that shit. Okay. Talk about in the first divorce. You was by yourself too. You was by yourself. You was with you and Miss Diane. I remember that shit. Then Miss Diane, listen. I got this is my first thing.
Shut up, bitch.
Okay, cause Miss Diane said, I always felt that Simon was your protector. And how in the fuck did you feel that? Please tell me how the fuck you felt that. Please elaborate, Miss Diane. Okay, elaborate on how you felt like he was her protector when she stole him from another woman. Huh? Huh? I can't hear you. Uh huh. Okay. And I do blame you for a lot of this shit, cause you don't put your daughter in check when she do this dumb ass shit. Cause I'd have told my daughter, that's stupid. That's stupid. My daughter Jordan will tell you. I'll tell her in a minute. That's stupid. What? What? But you go along with all this stupid ass bullshit because you think you gonna get some money off of this shit. No. 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 I blame you. Anyway, so I said, shut up. You a part of the problem. And you are a part of the problem. Anyway, Simon family don't even want to get involved. And they said let the courts handle it. And usually, I guess, per his tribe, they don't go through the divorce, the courts. They want the family to intervene, but the family was like, no, because I can't stand your bitch ass anyway, Portia. So we're gonna let the courts handle it, okay? Because I can't stand your bitch ass anyway. You shouldn't have took him from Fallon. I don't know if that's what they wanted to. I don't. I don't know if that's the truth. We like Fallon anyway. I don't know. I don't know if that's the truth or not. It sounded good. Okay. let me get my composure. Right. Okay. So yeah. So she was just like, she said, so the family said, she tried to talk to his pastor. She tried to talk to his uncle, his brother and stuff. And they said, let the courts handle it. And so then she started to fake cry.
Stop fucking crying, bitch! Where? I don't want to fucking hear it.
That's exactly how I felt. Stop. Girl, stop. Okay? Girl. You weren't even in love with that man. Okay? Stop. Anyway, so then all of a sudden she stopped crying. Maybe it was editing because I don't know how that clip went. Okay, but it seemed like she just stopped crying. And so then she started talking about Shamea. But she failed to mention that she took her to the strip club to cheer her up. She ain't tell that to the mama, that she took her to the strip club to cheer her up because she liked the tap. She liked the tap. Okay. And the tap means tits, ass, and pussy. Yeah, she liked the tap, okay? She failed to realize that. Yeah, she failed to realize. She failed to tell that to her mama. She conveniently left that out. But she was trying to tear her up with the tap. And she was. And then she said, and Shamea said she met up with the girls and they talked about her the whole time. Shamea did not say that, Portia. If we're going to go through this whole season with Portia, with people saying one thing to Portia and Portia saying something totally different to somebody else, y'all can cancel this season right now. Because this ain't cool. This ain't cool. Because this is the third time that Portia said something that the person didn't say. That the person did not say. Okay? So she said that, they were talking about her the whole time, and Shamea didn't say that. You a lie and your breath stink, okay? I'll give you this one too. Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Okay, just like Drew. Okay. So then Miss Diane said, well, she was trying to make you feel better, and but she's just telling you that everybody talking about you. You gotta watch the dog that bring. She said you gotta watch the dog that brings the bone. Miss Diane, come here, baby, come here. You didn't say that when Phaedra told her a lie about Candy and Todd. You ain't say that then. You ain't say that then. What happened to that bone? What happened to that bone? What happened to that bone, ma'am? Okay, Miss Diane, where were you? Okay, when that bone was thrown out there. And so anyway, Shamea is a girl's girl. Okay, just like Bo's over there and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. When she called up, Kyle was like, "Listen, Mo is here at the restaurant. What you want me to do? We can push him in the water. What you want me to do?" Yeah, Shamea the same way. She shouldn't be with Portia like that, but she the same way. Okay. She had to take up for a girl, and then she gonna tell her what the girls were saying. She ain't say it like this, what she said, but she did tell her, that the girls were talking about. Okay. Anyway, we go to this Beaumont event. Okay, for the Mommy and Me Osteogenesis Imperfecta um event, okay, that Kelli is putting on, because apparently Kelli's 3 daughters have osteogenesis imperfecta, so it must run on the daddy side, because apparently probably the oldest daughter doesn't have it, and 3 daughters have it. Okay, so I wouldn't have been having all these kids by this man, because he got some genetic disability, as far as I'm concerned. But that's neither here or there. So Kenya and Brooklyn came. Portia and little Pilar came. They had the matching outfits. They were so cute. And Angela and Arlie came, and Arlie dress matched Pilar's dress. It didn't even match her dress, even though it was yellow, but it matched PJ's dress. And so and Portia said her makeup artist was making up Drew before they came. And so I guess she said this is a 15-minute makeup job. I said, I guess they ain't try to finish your hair either, because the hair was horrible too. But it is what it is. I mean, you can't do your makeup by now. I'm sorry. Anyway, Cynthia show up. The wig is much better. It ain't that great as much as, she had great wigs back then, but it's better than what she's had. And then so Cynthia sitting down talking to Portia, like, she ain't been through a divorce. She was like, Cynthia was like, you gonna have your good days and your bad days. You just got taken a stride. Girl, she been through a divorce. she know what it is. What the hell? So Shamea walks in with her daughter Shiloh. Got a little bow on her head. She was cute, real cute. And Shia is recovering from surgery for her TNA. I told you it's outpatient, honey. It's good. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Um, what else? Britt makes it a point to greet Kenya. Like I said, I think she got a hard on for Kenya. Portia asked Shamea, has she talked to Angela? And so Shamea was like, that lady with that 1990s nose, that retro nose. So anyway, so Kelli she get her announcements, and so she said that her, like I said, three daughters is suffering from OI, and that's brittle bones disease, and apparently her daughter Chance, she went to the hospital because she figured out something was wrong with her arm, and so she said the police was outside standing, outside to take her to jail and stuff. She said so she was stuck in Baltimore for about a month. That's why you should have came to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Okay. Okay. Because we know all about osteo imperfecta, okay? I don't know what they doing over here in Baltimore, but we know all about osteogenesis imperfecta, okay? Okay, we know about that shit. So I don't know what they was doing in Baltimore that you was stuck there for a goddamn month. Okay? D, D CPS, defects or whatever was gonna question you, and you are y'all the police gonna question you and everything like that. You come to the floor, you was gonna get fixed, and once they diagnosed you, that you was gonna leave. You was probably been out in a week, and if they had figured it out at the beginning, you would have been out in a couple of days, because it don't take too long. It don't take too long to fix an arm either, honey. Because I know I've been a nurse for 30 years, honey. It don't take too long to fix an arm. Anyway, so Drew show up an hour late. Okay, now so Portia is 3 hours late to Shamea's event, and Drew is an hour late to Kelli's event. I think production has a lot to do with all of this, okay? Because I can't see if Drew makeup artist went to Portia, then she should have been on her way. Why is she late? Now, she did show up with a posse, okay? Did she have to pick all these people up? Is that what it is? Because the traffic in Atlanta is bad. So, did she have to pick up all these people? Why is she an hour late? Anyway, I just don't know. So, Kenya asked Drew, has she speaking to Portia yet? Poor little menopause Angela got her fan. Shout out to menopause. And so Kenya was like, hey, she over there. She said, you can't miss them hips. Why, Kenya? Because you don't have any, sweet pea. You can have some of mine. Okay? I will donate to you, honey, because I don't want them. Okay? Anyway. So Angela goes and try to talk to Shamea. She was like, we got off on the wrong foot. And so Shamea was like, yeah, I know we got off on the wrong foot. And Shamea was already irritated and a little aggravated. And so then she said, well, this is not the temperature in the room. So if there's some time we can talk, I like that. And so she was like, Shamea was like, I would love to meet Angela and not Drew's representative. And so Angela was like, yeah, this is Angela. And she was like, well, do you speak on Drew's behalf, and she said, "Well, I will. I mean, if need be, I will." And so she was like, "Well, I'm cool on you, thank you." Damn. What? And so then I'm with Angela. You a mean girl. And so Shamea was like, "You a mean girl." And so Angela was like, she said, "Your name says it best, Shamina, Shamina." And so she was like, "No, it's Shamea, and you taking me back to the 90 with that 99 nose." And she was like, "Okay, Flavor Flav, all you need is a clock." And so Kenya and Kelli trying to break it up, and Kelli was like, "Listen, we don't do this in Phipps Plaza. We do this in, that you need to take that down to Lennox." I know that's right, because Lennox, your car get broken into. Okay, they stop kids from coming in. They got a curfew coming in. Lennox is no joke, honey. Don't nobody want to go to Lennox. Now Phipps, yeah, everybody go to Phipps, but ain't nobody trying to go to um uh Lennox. But anyway, so Angela in the confessional saying, I called her Flavor Flav because she is Portia's hype man, and Flavor Flav is like the epitome of hype man. And she said, and Portia is just like Chuck D. And so then Angela was like, well, can somebody get your nose out of Portia's ass? And so then Shamea was like, I was Flavor Flav for Halloween once. She said, but I ain't know that she was going to be LaToya today. I said, ooh, that's a good one. She said LaToya Jackson today. I'm sorry. Oh, anyway. And then Kenya was like, well, where did that nose comment come from? And then Portia was like, well, she called her Flavor Flav, so she said it's tit for tat. So then the thing is over. Britt is giving Kelli a hug, saying thanks for inviting me. She said, because I was just like, because you don't have no kids, but you're going to be pregnant this year. Okay, but you ain't got no kids. And then she leaned over and gave her a hug, and I was just like, them BBLs are killing y'all, honey, because the thighs don't match, honey, because the thighs did not match in that dress. And so, in the confession, so then Drew walks up to Portia, was like, can we talk? And so Portia was like, well, let's talk next week. I'm not feeling well. Let's talk next week. And so then in the confessional, Portia was like, Drew wants to talk now because her sister, she is there. She called her Heavy D. That's rude. She said her sister is there. Everybody think that's her mama, but her sister is there. And so, but I'm thinking to myself, Portia, don't you bring your sister to a lot of events too, to support you too? I'm just saying. I'm asking for a friend. And so Drew said, well, she can come to the studio. That's what Dennis said. She could come to the studio and we could talk there. And that was the end of the episode. So, tell me what you thought. All right. Give me a thumbs up. Like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.